What is the endgame for a content creator who builds an entire career on harassment, bullying, and rage baiting? Do they eventually have a wake-up call and seek redemption? Or do they hit rock bottom, losing their empire and crashing out in a spectacular ball of flames? Unfortunately for Jack Doherty, he chose the latter option. His insatiable addiction to clout has finally nuked his relationships, causing his inner circle and his primary revenue streams to flee the sinking ship. Just listen to the panic as his personal life falls apart in real time. There are police officers on my lawn right now. She actually called the cops on me, packed her bags, took the car. It is total chaos. He calls it insane. I call it consequences. Welcome back. I am the Noctis View, and I produce weekly documentaries covering the dark side of the web. Today, we are dissecting the implosion of the web's most notorious jester, Jack Doherty. It appears he has finally hammered the last nail into his own coffin. If you have been fortunate enough to avoid his content until now, let me paint you a picture of the man destroying his own legacy. He is the living embodiment of toxicity in the live streaming space. He built a platform on being a public menace and has pivoted to exploiting adult content models. Jack operates with a singular focus, enriching himself, even if it means stepping on everyone else's neck to do it. His desperate stunts are not just annoying, they are physically dangerous. We all witnessed the footage where he totaled his McLaren because he was too busy reading a chat room to keep his eyes on the road. It was a disaster waiting to happen. No. You would assume a near-death experience might serve as a wake-up call to dial back the stupidity. Instead, the viral attention from the crash only fueled his ego, encouraging him to double down on even riskier behavior. But here is the sad truth. All that chaos yields zero organic interest. He has been exposed multiple times for artificially inflating his numbers with view bots. Watch as other streamers catch him red-handed, noticing the robotic patterns in his viewer count. It is blatantly obvious. Wait, hold on. Look at that. As you might expect, Jack's defense strategy was laughable. He deflected the accusations by calling his critics poor. I see Twitter saying, "I bought views. I just got married. Sorry, people are watching me. There's nothing I can do about it. Big deal. And if you say I have no chat activity on Twitch, it is because I have a contract with party.com. I tell my fans to chat there because that is the only feed I read. So everyone knows to ignore Twitch. But hey, I got married, forget the haters, you guys are just broke at the end of the day. You really have no room to speak." In Jack's mind, morality is irrelevant as long as the cash register rings. He was even willing to fleece his own fan base for a quick payday. By November 22nd, 2024, the grift evolved. He launched a broadcast claiming he was hunting for viral crypto tokens. But behind the scenes, this wasn't a gamble. It was a calculated setup to exploit his audience. Whoever guesses the ticker symbol right, it is one of my most viral moments. I am about to reveal it. I am putting a massive bag on this, and I am hyped, guys. When he finally revealed the token, his predatory intentions became undeniable. The coin was minted just an hour before the stream, and its name was a direct reference to his infamous car crash. This is the one I am buying right here. I am buying the McLaren coin. Let's go. I just put 5 Solana into it. Let's see what happens. The moment his followers began to buy in, driving the price up, Jack stopped engaging with the chat entirely. He cut the stream right before selling his shares, leaving his fans holding the bag. Then, incredibly, he pulled the exact same scam the very next day. As the backlash mounted, Jack dug his heels in. He lashed out on social media, mocking his victims with tweets suggesting that only losers criticize him. It is funny how people with nothing going for them are the first to talk trash. Focus on your own life before critiquing mine. Nothing stops me. I am mentally superior to all of you low IQ individuals obsessed with me. He declared himself untouchable, completely oblivious to the reality that his walls were closing in. For the moment, he ignored the red flags and continued his downward spiral. While he was busy scamming his fans, he tried to buy validation from industry giants without realizing he was being mocked. I am going to try the cautionary strategy. You gift him 100 subs, you get 10,000 live viewers, and he gets excited over 500 bucks. So what do? I will just run an ad break and make that money back instantly. Come on, just kidding. But should I? Should I drop 1,000 subs right now, chat? Let's get them hyped. Should I drop 1,000 subs on him before I crash another McLaren? Kai noticed the donation but refused to give Jack the clout he was desperate for. Gift another 100 if it is really you. After taking the money, Kai disavowed him. He made it crystal clear that no respected creator wants to be associated with Jack's brand. I am not going to lie, I wasn't going to collab with Jack. We just took the subs. It was a brutal reality check. No amount of cash can scrub away the stench of a ruined reputation. But that didn't stop him from trying to spin the narrative. On December 23rd, Jack attempted to rehab his image by sitting down with a roast master pack god. Instead of redemption, the interview completely dismantled him, exposing the fraudulent core of his entire persona. Let's cut to the chase and address the elephant in the room everyone wants to know, where the cash actually flows from. If we strip away the secrets, which revenue stream is really padding your wallet the most? You're fishing for that controversial answer, aren't you? Just joking, but seriously, it's hardly a state secret at this point. It's not exactly public knowledge, but yeah, I pull in a massive haul running OnlyFans agencies. Between the management side and my personal brand, the monthly intake is pretty substantial. I've got the contract with Kick, the gambling sponsorships, the YouTube revenue, it all stacks up. I'm doing just fine for myself. But even though this sit-down was brief, you could tell Jack was sweating bullets for what felt like ages. Pack God wasn't letting him off the hook, relentlessly grilling him on the toxic reality of his empire and his online character. Jack looked completely cornered. The accusations were flying specifically about him pushing adult content toward a fan base of literal minors. How do you justify that to the critics calling you reckless? You're crafting content specifically for kids, using editing styles that scream children's entertainment, only to funnel them straight into adult industries at the end. What is your defense for that kind of manipulation? It's just business, bro. What you gonna do? That's just how the game works. Nah, I'm just messing with you. But seriously, Jack, come on, stop dancing around it. Why don't you just admit it? Own it. Say, it's just business, and stand on business. Just look the camera in the eye and say, I'm gonna push whatever sells, and at the end of the day, I'll do whatever it takes to get paid. If there was a shred of decency left in him, that moment might have sparked a change. Instead, it proved he was past the point of no return. As 2024 wrapped up, Jack's reputation and clout evaporated right along with it. Not that he ever seemed to value respect in the first place, but that was just the beginning of the end. Soon, he'd lose the only thing he actually worshipped, his bank account. By early 2025, Kick decided to lift his suspension. They handed him a golden ticket to redeem himself. Jack immediately took to social media, bragging that the comeback was real. He swore he'd evolved. I'll behave, he promised. I won't be arrogant, at least for the first week. For all the doubters out there, listen up. I'm turning over a new leaf. Humility is my new middle name, and I'm done making mistakes. I know I've cried wolf a million times, but believe me, the ban? Total accident. Just a mishap. Accidents happen, bro. That's the definition of the word. While a tiny part of the internet hoped for a redemption arc, it was inevitable that the mask would slip. On February 19th, 2025, during a stream with Joshua Block, chaos erupted. What started as a standard broadcast spiraled out of control when a stream sniper decided to confront him. I'm just asking a question, bro. You're getting chips all over the place. Okay, cut it out. That's enough. Done. You stupid coward. What now? What are you gonna do now? Dave, back off. He's fine. He's done. Let him go, Dave. Seriously, let him walk. Leave him alone. Even though the stranger started the friction, unleashing a bodyguard on a civilian was a massive escalation. Kick had zero patience for the violence and dropped the hammer immediately for TOS violations. I just got banned on Kick. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Banned for that? I'm finished. That is so unfair. This is exactly why I hate this platform. It was self-defense. But Jack's total lack of self-control had torched his career yet again. When he tried to fight the suspension, Kick shut him down instantly. In response, Jack went on an absolute tirade. Total disruption. I built 200,000 followers on your garbage site. Screw you, Eddie. You and your Australian buddies can kiss my ass. You all suck. You're a bunch of cowards turning this place into Twitch 2.0. And you know what? Twitch is superior. I'm live there right now because they aren't a joke like you guys. I hope you crash and burn. With his biggest income stream severed for good, Jack reverted to his default setting. Dangerous stunts for clicks. He was desperate to claw back his audience, but the plan backfired spectacularly. Oh, are you okay? Holy, I am so done with this, bro. Oh my god. Even a trip to the emergency room wasn't enough to knock some sense into him. He refused to pivot to anything resembling safe or ethical content. When you examine his entire trajectory, the only time Jack ever feigns regret is when the consequences hit his bank account. Sadly, reality was about to teach him that lesson one final time. Actions have consequences, whether he likes it or not. On March 25th, 2025, Jack was hit with a brutal reality check. His girlfriend McKinley hadn't just dumped him. She had law enforcement at the door to help recover her belongings. Guys, look, McKinley and I are done. The police are literally outside my house right now. She called the cops on me, packed her bags, and took her car. It is absolute madness, bro. In the midst of his spiral, Jack accidentally exposed the massive price tag attached to this breakup. I mean, yesterday I told you guys we would fight, but But instead of communicating, when I thought we were fine, instead of talking to me, this girl has been scheming for the last 24 hours. She changed every password on the social accounts. I blew up just because she was my girlfriend. What the hell? She just took. It is pure evil, bro. Evil. She just walked away with $500,000 a month of my income. She has been plotting and using me for the last 2 years just to... I cannot believe it. I am fuming. It is ironic. Jack is learning the hard way that cash does not buy loyalty. And even though the ship had clearly sailed, he was still desperate to claw her back. You would not answer me. You called the police before even talking to your boyfriend? Are you kidding me? How do you do that? That is it, bro? That is all I did? Yeah, but I didn't. I just wanted to talk to you. That is it. You wouldn't answer me, bro. Are you freaking kidding me? I was completely losing it. Police body cam footage paints a darker picture of what actually went down before the authorities arrived. She mentions some things. Yeah, he got violent with her last night. He put his hands on her. She came to my place. I am actually an old friend of his, but she is waiting right over there in another car. Yeah, if he saw her in my car, the situation would have exploded, so I stayed hidden. She is there with a friend in a Nissan he would not recognize. Okay, well, who is she? Who is he? Who are all these people? McKinley? Okay, that is the caller, yes? Apparently, Jack threatened McKinley the day before, and now that she was actually walking out, he was grasping at straws to stop her. While the alleged threats were not caught on tape, Jack's disturbing comment about putting a hit on her friend suggests some serious malice. Who is this witch? Who is this evil friend? I have never met this woman in my life. But she shows up to help move her out? Put a bounty on her head. Regardless of how it started, Jack played the victim card hard, but the internet was not having it. They roasted him in the comments. She has been planning this escape for ages, not just 24 hours. Toxic people attract toxic relationships. Maybe she chased the bag, but he is a jerk. He had it coming. No wonder she left. You call her names, never apologize, and just try to buy her off? Of course she left. Grow up. You are in your 20s. Stop acting like you are 14. From pushing away friends to losing his girlfriend and the hundreds of thousands of dollars she generated monthly, Jack is finally facing the fallout of his own narcissism. He thought he was untouchable. Now that the walls are closing in, there is nobody else to blame. Throwing cash at problems only works for so long. Given his current downward spiral, it is only a matter of time before he loses absolutely everything.